Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we were challenged to look at this puzzle. I don't honestly know if it was the author who wrote to us or a recommender, but they said that when you look at this puzzle you'll want to solve it. I'm not going to disagree with that. It is a fascinating, well, very much a spider's web of a puzzle. I once created a crossword to deliberately look like a spider's web, but this does a phenomenal job of looking like a spider's web to me. Anyway, it's a between lines puzzle. I'll explain the rules in a moment, but not before I've told you about our apps where you can get line Sudoku, but you can also get Fog of War Sudoku, the latest one. And each of the apps is many hours of entertainment ahead of you, and all for a bargain price of about $5.99 each, sometimes less. Do check them out on the links under the video. Of course, SVEN'S Sudoku Pad is also linked under the video, and our merch, and I strongly recommend both, but I also suggest that you take a look at the Sudoku hunt this month in Patreon, which is April Foolery. It's tougher than previous months this year, but plenty of people have got through it, hundreds I'm now able to say, and very well done to them. Fantastic effort, and yeah, a lot of people raving about it, even though it was pretty tough. Particularly April Sum lines, and then the final puzzle, if you get there, are the big challenges, I think. So do check that out. There's also, of course, other stuff on Patreon like crossword videos, connections videos, and all sorts of things. Do check that all out. But our first link in the description field is to the puzzle Read Between the Lines by Proxy14, I'm going to say, although there will be various ways of pronouncing this. Now, the rules are, normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 goes in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. And then all the lines are between lines. Digits along a between line must be strictly between the digits on the circled ends of the line. So if that was a 5 and that was an 8, the numbers in between would have to be 6 and 7 in that case. You can have repeat digits along a line. There must be one somewhere which would allow that. This one, say. But the numbers in the circles have to be outside the numbers on the line. Now, every connection between circles is a line. We do have some crossing points. We also have some colour shading. Now, when I was first looking at this, I was thinking, oh, am I meant to be able to tell the difference between pink and purple and violet and magenta and indigo? And I'm not. It doesn't matter as far as I can see. Now, what does matter is that there are some intersections, and I think we can assume perfectly safely that lines go straight on at intersections. So there's one line connecting those, and that line connects those. And I might even write that into the rules on the card that you can see and on our description field. But that is a very clear assumption that I think is perfectly fair. Now, I'm going to start my clock in a moment. You'll be able to tell from the video length where that clock ended in my future and your past, but let's get cracking. We get 2 given digits in the circles, and they don't look like a lot of help to me. I mean, 2 there means this is the higher number on this line, and this is the higher number on both that line and that line, because you can't put something in between and then a lower number. It's not so clear cut with the 3. Certainly going this way, we could put a 1 there and have a 2 here. So the given digits are not, in my opinion, all that helpful. What is helpful is to remember a basic rule of between lines Sudoku, which is about 1 and 9. They can never go on a line, because obviously 1 can't find a lower digit to put in the circles and 9 can't find a higher. So if we select a box or a row or a column which is absolutely full of lines, I was going to look at this one No, I tell you what, there are circles are an outlet, but so are blank cells, and there are a few of those around. Not very many. 4, 5 blank cells in the whole puzzle, but tons of circles. Now, I am going to say, yeah, this box is good, isn't it? 1 and 9 cannot go on the line cells. So 1 and 9 go in those 2 cells. And we know that was going to be higher than the 2. So that's a 9. We've got a couple of digits. Now, this box as well, everything apart from the 3, there are 2 circles and a bunch of lines. Well, the lines can't contain 1 and 9, so they're in the circles. Now, this box is not so helpful. Oh, this one is now. These corner boxes definitely seem to have the most line segments in. 9 and 1 are now looking, if I've got this right, at that cell. So that can't be the 1 and 9. They must be a pair here. We've got a lovely deadly pattern of 1s and 9s that will be resolved by the lines somehow. Oh, but that is an X-wing. I mean, a deadly pattern is one thing, but it's also an X-wing. And that means that the 1 and the 9 in row 8 must be in box 8, and they must be in the circles there. Now that does nothing to narrow down this digit, which could be any other digit that's not 1 or 9. Right, let's keep focusing on 1s and 9s. This box is not so helpful because there are 3 white cells as well as 2, I was going to call them blobs, but they are just circles. Oh, hang on, 1 and 9 in column 2, they're a pair as well. We've got 9, 1 and a 1, 9 pair. That's the 1, 9 pair in column 2. So can I establish they're here and here, as they probably are? Not obviously, not clearly to me. And I'm not having any fun disambiguating which of these 1s and 9s are 1s and which ones are 9s. I'm going to have to change strategy and find something else to do in the puzzle in a moment. Oh, this can't be a 1. Okay, we're in business. 3, yes, sorry, I did point out early on that although 3 could go one way that way, it must go up going this way because you can't find 2 digits to fit before a lower number. So that's 9. Okay, well that solves one of my deadly pattern problems. I don't actually have any other deadly patterns, I just have uncertainties in this sort of middle ring. Yeah, there are sort of 3 rings in the puzzle. Maybe it's an archery target. Anyway, now we've got a 1 there. I mean, 1s and 9s are all very well to fill in, but they don't actually constrain the rest of the puzzle much. And it's a bit of a mystery to me at this stage how we're ever going to fill this puzzle with, you know, how are we going to disambiguate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 when we're only given 1, 2 and 1, 3? I mean, I guess it's going to happen by virtue of the picture and the geometry and the between lines, but I'm not understanding it yet. Okay, first of all, where can 1 go in this box? Those cells are ruled out. It can't go on a line, so it's in one of those 2. Where can 9 go in the box? That can't go there by Sudoku or on a line. So 9 is in one of those 2 cells. I could colour these as we go round this chain. If that's high, then that would be low. So they're kind of opposite polarity. And then you can't have 2 of the same digit on 2 ends of a between line, or you couldn't put anything on the line. So we could colour those round there. Oh, it is quite interesting. That says that whatever is red can't go in one of those cells. So red must go in one of those 2. And whatever is yellow can't go in those cells. So yellow goes in one of those 2. Which is a bit strange. This might not be the first time I've got overexcited about the possibility of colouring. Right. This digit, 3, we can no longer go low here because this can't be a 1. So, I mean, tell me if this is too much pencil marking for your taste. This must be higher than 3 and it can't be higher than 8 because it sees a 9. So that's in between. I guess these are from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am going to pencil mark this sort of stuff because I can. Now, this is a higher digit than either 1 or 2. And you've got to have digits to put in between. So this is at least a 5. However, I'm tempted to assume that's higher than this, but that is, though tempting, that's not necessarily true. Because if that was, say, a 5, then you could have a 6 or a 7 here and a 7 or an 8 here. It can be quite useful to find ladders, by which I mean connections between two between lines, whereas you run on from one between line to another and then to a third, you're still going in the same direction, either ascending or descending. Because then you get sort of almost de facto thermos. I feel like I have not done very well in understanding 1s and 9s everywhere. I mean, that feels likely to be a 9, which would sort out all of the yellow and red and so on, but it's absolutely not certain to be a 9. And this could be higher than that one still. Goodness me. How about one of these must be a 1 or a 9, because in this row there's only 3 spots available. Now again, it could be both of them. No, it can't be both of them. That's quite interesting. Right, if they were both 1 and 9, that would form an X-wing with these two. And that would use up the 1s and 9s for columns 4 and 6. The 1s and 9s for column 5 would now have to both be in the central box. But they can't both be in the central box because 2 of those are line cells. Only that one in the central, in those 3 digits, can be a 1 or a 9. So we can't put both 1 and 9 there. So one of the 1s and 9s in row 2 is definitely here. And that is surprising. Now, where does that digit go in box 6? It can't go in the same column. It can't go here because there's a 1 and 9 in that column already. It must go in a circle because every cell in this box either has a circle or a line, so it goes there. That is a 1 or a 9. Now, I think what we did with these things is going to prove that that's a 1 or 9. Now, let me just try and explain that. Yes, one of these two in row 2 must be a 1 or a 9. And whichever one it is, it's sitting in a column opposite its counterpart in box 8. It's either red and red there, in which case the red in the middle column would have to be here, or it's yellow and yellow there, in which case yellow in the middle column would have to be here. I've gone a very long-winded way about working out where 1 and 9 go in this row. That can't be 1 or 9 by vertical Sudoku. That can't be 1 and 9 by vertical Sudoku. That, because also the same by vertical Sudoku, so this central cell is a 1 or a 9. Now, that is only going to leave, well, where is the other 1 or 9 in the central column? It's not here, which sees 9 and 1 in the row. It's not on a line cell. So it must be in one of these two. It's either a 9 there or a 1 there. And that's what's happened here as well, because we've got 1 or 9 there. Either this is a 1 or that's a 9. So this is a weird, it's not an X-wing. This is a marking across boxes, a corner mark across boxes. One of those is a 1. One of those is a 9. This is this is feeling a bit strange now. And it hasn't deduced for me what this is, which one of 1 and 9 that is. So either that's yellow or that's red. And the other one of those is in one of these cells. Well, there, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take white out of that because this is either yellow or red. I mean, I suppose this is 2. And the other one in this column is in one of those 2. Ah, oh, this is so strange. Right. I still believe, oh, this can't, yeah, no, obviously these can't be 1 or 9. We've got 1 there. One of these 2 is 1 or 9. Exactly one of them. If it's that one, it's red. If it's that one, it's yellow. I'm beginning to wonder if red and yellow is any use at all. Probably not. Both, okay, I'm going to do something totally different. Both of these are from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this puzzle, I'm not ashamed to put 5 candidates in a cell because it might turn out to be useful at some point. What do I know about either the middle column or the middle row? I feel something is known. Oh, well, what I should be doing and what I am scared of doing is moving on to 2s. Once all the circles in this box get filled, 2 is definitely on a line, and its line must have a 1 on. Now, it could easily be on that line, but it could be on that line if one of these is a 1. And it's not that helpful. I mean, 2 could literally be anywhere here, although the only way it's in one of those cells is if that's a 1. And that's not a 1. 1 or 9 are confined to those cells in this box. Yes, that sees both colours of 1 and 9. So 2 is not on this line. I mean, it's nothing, but it's true. Maybe I need to look at 8s. But the trouble is that can be a 9. So 8, I don't know. Oh, 8 in this row. Oh no, I was going to say it must be on a circle. That's not true. It can be there. I mean, that's a perfectly valid pencil mark possibility for 8. How does this thing work then? I just don't feel these cells are constrained at all at the moment. That is not 1 or 9. But I mean, could it be 2? Oh, well, that's not 1 or 9 either. Actually, there are a lot of cells that can't be 1 or 9. I mean, I'm very tempted in all of these cases to write in the digits 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that would be a very sad admission of utter uselessness. No, maybe it wouldn't. Oh gosh, where does... I was going to say, where does 2 go in this box? Okay, I am going to say that. It's not a single cell answer. I was thinking I was going to be able to write it here. That's not necessarily true. But actually, well, we've pencil marked these. I mean, they see a 2. This one can't be a 2 because 1 would have to be in one of those cells, and that's impossible. So 2 is definitely in this column. I think we can even rule out this cell because that and that can't be 1s. They're both in boxes where 1, 9 are taken. So that cannot be 2. This one, that 1 sees both of these circles, and therefore neither of them can be 1. So that is not a 2, and we did find 2 in box 4. This must be higher. Now, I nearly got lulled into a trap there. I was going to write 5, 6, 7, 8 here on the basis that it needs at least 3 and 4 on the line. But those could both be 3s, so I have to include a 4 there. However, now on these 2 circles, 4 is the lowest number possible in either circle, 8 is the highest, and the number in between them must be 5, 6 or 7. Yes, this is... Yes, what's this? Get ready for a lot of pencil marking again. It sees 1, 2, 3 and 9 in the column and row. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. By exactly the same principle as here, that digit is 5, 6 or 7. And now my pencil marking has paid off. My pencil marking has paid off in various ways. That T is a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quintuple, which leaves 2 and 3 for these cells. We can't put 2 on a line with 2 in a circle. So we've got them diagnosed, resolved. 2 in the bottom row I've just seen, it's only got one place left. It's there. You know, I'm saying this as though padam, but I haven't got very far, but I have done this much now. 2 in the central box is in one of those 2 cells, which is less thrilling. 3 is in one of those 3. I don't really see any way yet to... Yes, I do. That can't be a 3, because this would have to be lower. That can't be a 2, because there's a 2 in the circle, and it can't be a 1, because there's nothing you could put between 1 and 2. So that's not a 3. This one can be on a line between 1 and 9 in one direction. This one is between 1 and something higher than 3. So that didn't resolve the 3 finally, but it did do everything else. This digit is, that's now low and this is higher. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. Again, this must be high. I'm tempted to think this is the 9, but it must be higher than the 2. And this digit can't be a 3, so it's at least 4. That leaves us with 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 in this cell, because I haven't ruled that out. Now let's come back here. If that was an 8, yeah, no, that still works. This could be 6. It might even be able to be 5 and be realistic, which is a shame. Now, one of these, no, I was going to say one of these in the bottom row must be an 8, but I keep forgetting this baby. That can definitely be an 8. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is one of those ladders I was talking about. So 2 must ascend up to this number, and then that number must ascend up to this. This digit can't be 3. So let's say that is 4 or 5. This is 5 or 6, and these digits are selected from 6, 7 and 8. I think that's how this sort of thermo works. It's not a complete thermo because we can't order those 2, but it's quite like one. So that is 5 or 6 now. What's this? Is this high or low? Who knows? But it sees 1 and 2. It sees 1 in a way on the line. It sees 2. If it was 3, this would be 4 or 5 and that would be 6. But it could be 3, so I'm just not any further forward with that one. Okay, where are we next? We've got 2 digits out of 6, 7, 8 there. We know 3's in one of those 2. Now, if that was 4, this digit would have to be 3. But it's more likely that this is 4, I would say, in box 8. Can I tell that oh, if this was a low end of both lines, I don't know, it could be a low end of both lines. It would be a 5, that would be a 6, 7 pair, that would be 8, and this would be 4, and that all hangs together perfectly, implausible as it is. Okay, I'm a bit stuck again now. I mean, I haven't really got very unstuck yet. 2 is now in one of these 2 cells. And it's very easy to put 2 on this line. It's more constraining to put it on this line because one of those 2 is going to have to be a 1 then. Still, we haven't really sorted out where 1 and 9 are. There's one of them in one of these cells, which is either yellow here or red here. There's clearly 1 there. Oh, that was going to be the same as this, wasn't it? So orange is halfway between red and yellow, so I'm going to call that orange. Oh, goodness. 2 and 3, that could be 8. I just don't know I don't know what's going on, frankly. Okay, this is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. If that was getting higher going up here, yeah, we'd run out of digits actually. This must be higher than this, because otherwise, if this was lower than this would be higher by 2 than 5. This would be 7 or 8. This would be 6 or 7. This would be 5 or 6. They would be selected from 5, 6, 7, 8. But these are already selected from 5, 6, 7, 8, and that would give us 5 digits selected from 4 numbers. And that's not possible. So this goes lower from there to there. I mean, that is not an exciting discovery, but it is definitely true. I still don't know which of these is 1 and which is 9. That must be lower than 9. But this could be a ladder towards the 1, or it could be a bounce down to a low number like 2 there, or 3, and back up to 9 there. So there's no way of telling what's going on there. 1, 3, 2, 9. We've also got 5, 6, 7, 8s around. I don't know. I'm not really getting very far now. Was that the only bloomin' sequence I found where we were going higher and higher? This, oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm going to get interrupted here. Right, sorry about that. Now trying to pick up the threads. I was so pleased to get some digits on lines and it didn't really do anything. Or did it? 2 in this central box can't be in those cells. Now, this can't be a 2. This can't be a 2 because that can't be a 1 on that line. So 2 is ruled out of all of these cells, either by pencil marking, by what I just said, or by that 2 in the grid. So, well, 2 is in one of these 2 cells. I feel that it can't be here, because that would make this a 1. Is that an impracticality? 9, 1, no, maybe it's not. Okay, but at least 2 is in one of those 2 cells. So now 2 is in one of these 3 cells. It can't be there because this would have to be a 1. I'm sure it can be in a circle. And it definitely can be on this line because there's already a 2 on this line. And it's very easy to repeat digits on a line. They're certainly fulfilling the same. Oh, look, that's a weird little X-wing on 2s though. Now, not only does that give me a 2 in one of those 2 cells, but there might be some problems. Yes, if 2 was there, that would force 2 to be in this cell on its own line. So that's not possible. So those 2 are definite 2s. Now, although, yes, okay, sorry, I could have done this ages ago. We need a 1 on the line in a circle on this line. This is going to disambiguate lots of things, I think. That's a 1. We named orange, or we coloured orange, orange, because that cell was going to have to be here in box 4. So that's a 9. Now that's not 9. And that's not 1, and therefore this is 9, and that's 1. Sorry, I was trying to get rid of that corner mark. There we go. And is that all the 1s and 9s done? No, not quite. Rows 4 and 6. Now, one of these is a 9, and the other one isn't. Oh, and it's not all 1s and 9s done at all. Where's the 9 in this box? It's in one of those. It can't be there anymore. It is now in one of these 2 circles. Well, come on, is there not some formula to tell me? Oh, I thought this would be done. I've got a little ladder forming there. I mean, it's not a big one, but it makes that 3, 4, 5, 6, that 4, 5, 6, 7, that 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got to go higher to there and then higher still to here. No, that wasn't very exciting. Is there some ramification if that had to be the same as that? That would do it. No, it doesn't. If that was a 9, it would be yellow. Then you'd have 9s here and here, and that would be a 9, and that's fine. So if that was a 9, it would be red. These would be 9s, that would be a 9. I don't think that's a problem either. Okay, well, it was worth checking. It was worth checking. Okay, I don't think we can tell about the ladderness or not of this. Oh, well, this can't be 1 or 2. If this is lower than that, this is going to have to be 3. So that can be a 4-5 pair, and that would be 6. And these would all be from 1, 2, 7, 8. Right. This cannot be 3 because that would be 2. Yes, okay. This can't be higher than this anymore because we would be ascending this way. And that couldn't be 2, so that would be at least 3. Well, you could have 3, 4, 5, 6, but it would break this cell. So this is higher than that. So this is 6 or 7, and this one is 7 or 8. It is not 1 or 9, because we've had 9 in the box. It doesn't get a colour. So this now does get a colour, and its only possible colour is yellow, and that's a 1. And that places 2, and this is now red. And reds are 9s, and yellows are 1s, so are oranges. Well, let's very briefly colour all the ones in the grid, because I suspect they're all done, or else I can finish them off. That is all 9 of them, isn't it? How are 9s going? Yes, that's a 9. Let's colour them all red. Is that 9 reds? No, I've got 1 left to put in there. Excellent. Right, 9s are done. Now I can do some between lining, presumably. Maybe find more of these ladders, because they're often the best things. Now, this is not a ladder. This is higher than all of the 3 other circles it connects with. This is a ladder. So 3 is in one of these 2 cells by Sudoku. And with 3 there, the 3 in column 5 is known. It's there. That's putting a 2 in a circle. How are we doing on 2s? I can put 2 in the corner because there are 4 2s looking at box 3. And 2s are all done now. Okay, well, this is progress. We're actually getting somewhere. Now it looks like there's only one place for 4 in this column if my pencil marking is right. Why didn't I think 4 could be here? Well, it couldn't. I don't know how I concluded that before, but it's definitely true, because that would have to be a 3 between 2 and 4. Anyway, the only place for 4 in this column now is in this cell. So this is at least 6, and no, this is the only place for 8 in the box now. Right, that's good. And we're obviously going lower through 5, 6, 7 to there, through 5, 6, 7 there, through 5, 6, 7 to here. So this is not 7. That's a minor conclusion. Just checking up this. Right, that can't be 8 anymore. And that is limiting what can be on its other lines. So they've got to be below 7. So on this line, we're picking somewhere from 3 to 6. This one can't be 3. This one could be, annoyingly. On this line, we're picking somewhere from 2 to 6, but no, 2 can't be in either cell. So again, it's 3 to 6. And this one can't be 3. Now 8 has to be in one of these 2 cells, and it can't go here because that can't be a 9. So I can put 8 in there. Now 8 is in one of these 3 cells. It's not in that one because this would have to be higher. So 8 is in one of those 2 cells in box 5. It doesn't just jump out at me how to finish this. This is a sequence going, a ladder going up. This digit is at least 3. So let's put 3, 4, 5, 6 as candidates there because these have to be higher. They're from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 9, 1. I was going to have a raid on 8s in column 8, but it doesn't seem to work. Oh, one of these, no, I was going to say one of these is a 3 in the row, but that could be 3, so that's not necessarily true. If this was a 5, that's no good because both of these are meant to be lower. They can't both be 4s. Ah, so that's a 6, 7 pair and that's a 5 in the column. Is that my first 5 in the grid? I suspect it is. 5 feels to me in a between lines puzzle to be the hardest number to identify. Now we've got a 6, 7 pair in the bottom row, leaving a 4, 5 pair. Ah, and that's going to take this down because that's 4 or 5. This is now 3 or 4. 8 in the column is either... Oh, can 8 be anywhere else other than in the circle in this box? No. Oh, this is 2 and 4 as its circles, so that's another 3. Right, I can take 3 out of a lot of cells. I can put 8 into that one. And this going up here, no, that doesn't resolve. Oh, goodness, right. What next? Those are just not resolved. Oh, that can't be 3 in row 8, so that is 3 in row 8. How are we doing on 3s? Oh, I can never spot the given digit 3s. We've got 5 of them done. Okay, that's not a 3. The 3 in box 3 is in one of those 2 cells. Now, this can't be a 3 because you can't get 1 or 2 into either of the circles, so it goes there in the circle. That's probably going to finish off all my 3s in the grid. No, got a little X-wing of them. But I probably haven't. Yeah, this can't be 3 because that would be higher and the line would be broken. So those 2 are 3s. Oh, it wasn't in the circle. So I get rid of 3 from there and 3 from here. Now, that didn't do anything for this central box at all. Didn't help in any way. But where does 8 go in this box? It cannot be here because that line wouldn't work, so it's there. Now this can't be 8. 8 in this box has to be on the line between 1 and 9. Oh, and these other digits are from 4, 5, 6, 7. So this line, it's obviously ascending from the 3 to here, which can't be 8 or 9. So this is 6 or 7, and these digits are from 4, 5, 6 on the line. 8 must be in one of those 2. Yeah, that's not quite resolved. I mean, we are getting closer. Everything narrows it down. So 3, 9, 8, 2, 1. We've got digits from 4, 5, 6, 7 in column 1. And in row 1, I mean, it's going to be all about disambiguating 4, 5, 6 and 7 from here. Now, I was going to say that must be a 7 in the box. That's not true yet. Yes, it is, because this digit has to be less than that. So this is not 7, so 7 in the box is now in the circle. That's a 6. That does a bit of thermo work here. Now I've got a 7, 8 pair in the column, and that makes this a 6 at the bottom. That takes 6 out of those cells and puts it in row 3, column 4. Column 3 and 4, no, column 4 and 5 are utterly complete. That can't be 6 or 7. We're still trying to place 4, 5, 8 in row 2. 4 has been removed from these cells. This can't be 5 anymore because it has to be bigger than that one. This is less than that, so it can't be 7. So there's only one place for 7 in this box now. That's 5 or 6. So 7 in box 4 is in one of these two cells and is ruled out, therefore, of those. It's also ruled out of this cell. 7 in this row, don't know. 7 in row 1, there's only one place and it's in a circle again. There's a lot of 7s in circles. Right, by Sudoku that's 7, so that's 8. This is not 7, this is not 8. In this row, that's 4, 6 or 7, and in this row, we've got 5, 6 and 8 to place. This is not 8 anymore. That's quite important because now we place 8 in box 3. I suspect we're finishing off 8s now. Oh yes, look, that 8 is looking here. I think there's 2 more 8s to put in. Oh, that's really annoying. There are 2 more 8s to put in, but they're all on lines which could have a 9, which do have a 9 on, or they're all on potential. They're in potential cells which are on lines which do have a 9 on, so I cannot actually rule on those. Okay, that's obeying the rule, that's obeying the rule, that is 2. This one is, these ones are. I'm going to have to find something else I can do somewhere. 4 in this box seems to be in one of those 2 cells. Yeah, that's right. So that's not 4. Oh, there's only one place for 7 in row 4. There it is. Now, one of these is 4. I think I knew that. Now, that's a 5, 6 pair, so this is 4. So, coming up the column, we've got a 5, 6 pair. That is therefore 4 or 8, but yes, it's not 8, it's 4. Right, that might unwind some 5s and 4s for me. I've got a 5, 6 pair there, so that's 4. That finishes box 9, like so. That is definitely a 6, 8 pair. This is therefore 7 and 4. That's a 5. Let's just check the line. We're ascending to there, then ascending on. Yep, that works. That 5 looks here. That fixes 6 and 8. This really is coming together now. What is this digit to finish its column? It's a 7. That's a 6. That takes me up to the top. 5, 6, 5. This is now 4 or 6, and so is this one. But these are 4 and 5 in some order, so that is going to work and flow and complete a puzzle. There we go. That is a very clever read between the lines from Proxy 14 there. Good stuff. Thank you, Proxy, for that, and thank you guys for watching us on the channel. It's brilliant to have you with us doing variant Sudoku. Come along on this journey again tomorrow and we'll see what we find then. Thanks for watching and bye for now.